So how do you get rid of how do you stop that need for results, that horrible need, you know?
So what happens is that need, and this is a great discussion, by the way. We're covering so many good topics in this. So that desperation comes from an emotional void you're trying to fill from that desire. So it's like Abraham Hicks says, every desire that we want, it's not actually that thing that we want, it's how we believe that thing will make us feel, right? So we want the money for the freedom. We want the relationship to feel loved and connected. Um, so we want the career, the raise, the job success to feel accomplished and good enough. So it's about identifying what's the emotion that I'm reaching for behind that desire. And then it's working yourself into that emotional state. Because once you achieve that emotional state, it's like it takes the edge off the need for that desire, and you relax more into the receiving mode and more out of the desperation. And that's what opens up the energies to allowing it to show up.
Yeah, it's interesting you said that because I'm not really manifesting money per se. I'm really after freedom. And
Yeah.
I know that money comes with freedom, but that's what I want.
Yeah. So, and it's not just, and the whole last call was about like skipping the money, right? Identifying those things that you want and becoming a vibrational match to those. So if you become a good vibrational match to the feeling of freedom and you stay off the topic of money completely, then the money will start rolling in.
Okay, that's my second question. Perfect. What is the vibration of freedom? Like, you talk about, the vibration of manifesting $10 million. What is the vibration of $10 million? You
So
know,
if you had $10 million deposited in your bank account right now, how would you feel?
I thought about that today, and I wouldn't be jumping for joy. I would be relieved,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit, well, skeptical, like wondering, how long is it going to be before it disappears?
Okay, so I would say the typical emotions for money is freedom. So the feeling of being free, the feeling of being able to do what you want.
Yes, I think
Um,
the first thing would be I would probably take a breath like I've never taken one before.
and that's the feeling you want to reach for,
Okay.
right? That when you meditate, when you chillax, when you listen to some audios,
Okay.
you want to practice working your way into that feeling. And if you can work into that feeling and make that feeling a dominant emotion in your vibration and hold that feeling as much as possible, that's going to close the gap to the desire.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's the embodiment. That's what creates the vibrational match that allows it to show up.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Really good discussions. Any fear for you in terms of that money showing up?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, good.
Like I said, I'm looking at it like Niagara Falls is going to dump on my head and bring it on. I'm freaking ready,
Good, good. So just you need to embody it as if it exists so that it can show up. It won't show up until you're living the life that it's already here. And that's true embodiment. And that doesn't mean going out and buying a Ferrari or booking 100 vacations. You don't have to go spend the money to feel like you have the money, right? For me, on and off, I've worked at trying to manifest 40 million. And what I've told people is, the days that I'm focused on 40 million, when I make coffee as a 40 millionaire. When I gas up my car, I gas up the car as a 40 millionaire. When I take a piss, I piss like a 40 millionaire, right?
And what does that look like? Not the piss, but I'm sorry. What does it look like when you make coffee as a $40 million earner? What does that look like for you?
It's not that it looks different. It's tuning into the energy of being a 40 millionaire. Because to be honest, making coffee as a 40 millionaire isn't going to be different than somebody who has $5 in their bank account. The difference is just how that person feels. So it's practicing the feeling of being that 40 millionaire as you're doing these different tasks.
Okay, because I can tell you if I have $40 million in the bank, I'm not making my own coffee.
Good. Yeah. And
Okay.
along these lines, so an exercise. So I had a call this week with one of my one-on-one clients, and for her, she's working on conceiving a child. And this week, after a third session, was second or third session, she had her very first dream of holding a baby, which she's never had before. And I pointed out that that's a synchronicity that means it's on its way. And what I want you to do for homework now is every day spend 10, 15, 20 minutes laying on the couch or sitting in the chair, and as if you're actually holding that baby as if it's there now. And in your mind, have a conversation with the baby. What's your name? What color would you like your room to be? So vibrationally embodying the presence of that thing and what it feels like for that thing to be present.
Okay.
Make sense? Does this help?
Absolutely.